What is going on, guys? Jason here, your online personal trainer, and today we're going to go over an important topic of what is overtraining and what is under recovery. A lot of the times we can go through periods where we're actually experiencing both, but to go about fixing it is going to be two different types of things. Firstly, we're going to go over what is overtraining and what is under recovery. Alright, so we got out the dry erase board. What is overtraining? Firstly, overtraining is something that happens over a very long period of time. It could be happening over the course of a 12-week program. Most of the time, when we're feeling fatigued or plateaued, we're going through an overreaching period, which can happen over the course of a week or a few days. It's not as intense. With overtraining, you're at a severe risk of getting injured. You're also most likely not going to be making the progress that you should be making. When it comes to overreaching, we want to look at three different things in your program. Your volume, or the amount of workload that you have in one given session. Your frequency, which is how often you're working out or exercising over the course of a week. And your intensity, how fast are you going? How much power do you have? How much weight are you pushing? Usually when one goes up, the others have to come down. And it's very common, especially amongst gym bros, that as the intensity increases, there is no management in the volume and frequency section. What then happens is that they plateau, they don't gain any strength, and they start to challenge themselves more by adding more exercises and more workouts per week, even trying to go twice in one day, when in reality, they're just digging themselves deeper in their hole. If you go from bench pressing 135 for 5 reps to 185 for 5 reps, great, but something has to give. You have to look at your volume and your frequency. Usually as you start to see your strength go up, it's a good idea to either minimize the amounts of sets or to cut out a workout completely so that you're able to recover from that. Recovery is the most important thing. You're building your muscle and gaining your strength in your recovery period of time, which then also leads into under recovery. There is a difference between the two. Overtraining means you're working out too much. Under recovery means that there's some things in your lifestyle that could be affecting your recovery. You may not be doing too much workload, but if you're not doing the right things like getting enough sleep or eating the right amount of foods or failing to manage your stress, then you are going to under recover. What happens next is that you start to chip away at that frequency and that volume. You're still not making progress, but you have to look at what else is going on. Are you going through a stressful period of time with work or family? Are you only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep? And even if you are you just laying in bed, constantly waking up in the middle of the night? These issues need to be addressed. One of the biggest things is our diet. Are you eating enough calories? You have a lot of people that are constantly trying to lose weight, trying to lose body fat. If you're not eating enough calories, you're going to under recover. While you're in a calorie deficit, there's things that you can do in order to improve your recovery. You can eat a lot more vegetables and fruits so you're not malnourished. Also, make sure that you're eating enough protein and fat. I usually recommend about 0.75 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You also need to make sure you're eating enough fats. You can start with about 0.5 to 0.6 grams of fat per pound of body weight. This can work for both males and females. So now with these two things in mind, what is it that you have? Well, they both usually connect to each other, and there's something that you have to look at on each side. Have you plateaued for a while? Have you been beating yourself in the gym? Do you feel unmotivated to go to the gym? Do you feel like every time you go to the gym, your muscles feel really tight, they feel really sore, and you almost feel worse after the workout than before you went in? Well, then you most likely are starting to go into that overreaching period. Are you having more fights with your family or your loved one? Are you going through some drama with friends? Have you recently just started a new diet or calorie deficit program? Have you been having issues sleeping over the past week? Well, then you'll start to aim more towards that under recovery side. Now, these two things are not going to be permanent at all times. There's going to be times where you're recovering properly, your training is going well, and you're making progress. But it doesn't always stay like that sometimes. This is what separates the winners from the quitters. Every single week that goes by, you need to take an objective, non-judgmental look at your training and your lifestyle, because it's very easy to fall into traps where we're watching TV late at night or we're snacking on our chips too much. A lot of the times we're working out with our friends and they're trying to lift a certain amount of weight, so we try to push ourselves more even though we're not ready to handle that weight yet. Those periods of time can really lead into that overreaching. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. I really hope it helped and gave you a little bit of advice on how you can go about fixing your training, recovering properly. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to get some interaction with you guys. Also, on a side note, my website should be ready in a few days. It's going to be in the description. You can click on it, you can check out my profile, and you can maybe decide if we want to work together. So check it out, and I'd love to have you if you're down. Have a fantastic day.